Fake HOA charged me $9,400 for decorations. The judge laughed them out of court. What would you do if someone charged you $9,400 for flowers that never bloomed? Ho Nguyen stood in her small flower shop, staring at a bill that could ruin her. The invoice, stamped with the pristine letterhead of the Willow Creek Homeowners Association, demanded payment for decorations she'd supposedly provided for their annual gala. Her hands trembled as she read the amount again. $9,400. For a small business owner who poured her heart into every petal, this was a gut punch. She hadn't even been hired for the event. The mastermind behind this? Karen Whitaker, the HOA's self-appointed queen, whose smile hid a venomous streak. HOA's shop, Petals by HOA, was a haven of color and warmth in the quiet town of Willow Creek. She'd built it from nothing, arranging bouquets for weddings, funerals, and everything in between. Her reputation was spotless until Karen. The trouble started 3 months earlier when Karen stormed into the shop, demanding an extravagant setup for the HOA's gala. "I want orchids, roses, the works," she'd said, tossing her hair. "Make it look like $1 million, but I'm not paying a dime over $500. HOA, ever professional, explained that such a display would cost at least $2,000. Karen scoffed, called her greedy, and left. HOA thought that was the end of it. She was wrong. Weeks later, the gala came and went, a gaudy affair with cheap plastic flowers and tacky streamers. HOA didn't attend, she wasn't invited. But when a $9,400 bill arrived, accusing her of supplying premium floral arrangements, she felt the ground shift beneath her. Attached was a contract she'd never seen, with her signature forged in looping, unfamiliar ink. Karen had fabricated the entire thing, banking on HOA's small stature and quiet demeanor to bully her into paying. The HOA board, under Karen's thumb, backed her claim, threatening legal action if HOA didn't comply. HOA wasn't one to back down. She hired a lawyer, a sharp young woman named Priya Sharma, who took one look at the contract and laughed. "This is a joke," Priya said. The papers dated after the gala. They didn't even try to cover their tracks. Together, they dug into Karen's history. What they found was a pattern. Karen had scammed 2 other local businesses, a caterer and a baker, using similar fake invoices. Both had paid to avoid her wrath. HOA, though, wasn't going to be another victim. She filed a countersuit, accusing Karen of fraud and defamation, and the case headed to court. The twist came when Priya uncovered a witness. Tim, the gala's janitor, a soft-spoken man who'd worked at the community center for years. He'd seen Karen and her cronies swapping out HOA's name on a generic contract in the back office, laughing about teaching that florist a lesson. Tim had stayed silent, fearing Karen's influence, but when he heard HOA was fighting back, he stepped forward. His testimony was a bombshell, shifting the case's momentum. HOA felt a spark of hope, but the battle was far from over. The courtroom was packed on the day of the trial. Karen strode in, dressed in a tailored blazer, her confidence radiating like a spotlight. She spun a tale of HOA's incompetence, claiming the florist had delivered wilted flowers and overcharged for shoddy work. Her voice dripped with disdain as she gestured to a table of garish arrangements, plastic monstrosities she'd bought online and passed off as HOA's. The audience murmured, some swayed by her theatrics. HOA's heart raced, but Priya squeezed her hand. "Let her dig her own grave," she whispered. Priya's cross-examination was surgical. She presented the forged contract, pointing out its inconsistencies. The wrong date, the mismatched font, the signature that didn't match HOA's meticulous handwriting. Then she called Tim to the stand. The room fell silent as he recounted Karen's late-night scheming, his voice steady but heavy with guilt for staying quiet too long. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Karen's face flushed crimson, her composure cracking. "He's lying," she shouted, slamming her fist on the table. The judge, a no-nonsense woman with a sharp gaze, raised an eyebrow. "Ms. Whitaker, control yourself," she said, her tone laced with amusement. Priya wasn't done. She projected photos of the gala, sourced from social media, showing the tacky decorations in all their glory, nothing like HOA's signature style. Then she played a voicemail Karen had left HOA demanding payment, or else. The venom in Karen's voice was undeniable, and the courtroom buzzed with outrage. HOA, sitting quietly, felt tears prick her eyes not from fear, but from the weight of being believed. Karen's defense unraveled. She stammered through excuses, claiming clerical errors and miscommunications, but the judge wasn't buying it. When Karen tried to blame her assistant, a nervous young woman named Lila, the judge cut her off. "You've had your say, Ms. Whitaker. The evidence speaks louder." Lila, unexpectedly, stood up from the gallery, her voice shaking. "I didn't sign anything for her," she said. "She told me to stay quiet or I'd lose my job." The courtroom erupted, and Karen's face went pale. Her own assistant had turned against her, a final nail in her coffin. The judge's ruling was swift and merciless. Karen's claim was dismissed, and she was ordered to pay HOA $10,000 for damages, legal fees, and emotional distress. The courtroom burst into applause as Karen stormed out, her heels clicking furiously. HOA, overwhelmed, hugged Priya and Tim, her unlikely allies. The judge caught Hoa's eye and gave a rare smile. "Keep blooming, Ms. Nguyen," she said. For the first time in months, HOA felt light, as if the weight of Karen's lies had lifted. Word of the trial spread through Willow Creek like wildfire. Karen's influence crumbled. The HOA board ousted her, and her social media pages were flooded with memes about her fake flowers. Hoa's shop, meanwhile, thrived. Customers poured in, inspired by her courage. Tim became a regular, bringing his kids to buy bouquets, and Lila, free from Karen's grip, started working part-time at Petals by HOA. The little shop became a symbol of resilience, proof that truth could outshine even the most brazen lies. Hoa's victory wasn't just about money, it was about standing up to someone who thought they could crush her. She framed the judge's ruling and hung it in her shop, a quiet reminder of what she'd overcome. Every time she arranged a bouquet, she thought of the courtroom, the forged contract, and the moment Karen's empire of lies fell apart. It wasn't just her win. It was a win for everyone who'd ever been bullied into silence. What do you think? Should HOA have settled quietly, or was fighting back worth it? Share your thoughts on standing up to bullies like Karen.